Good evening, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the most talked about UFO talk show on social media. This is Encounters, the UFO talk show late night here on TikTok. Please start pressing those like buttons, folks. Please share and like. Coming on at just about a minute before 11 on the East Coast of the USA. Carolyn, good to have you with us, everybody. Gloria King. Everybody else, welcome to the show. For those that are new here, I am the CmdrAleon of the WESU-FM NPR Pacifica radio show, Ashtar Command Radio, Cosmic Eye Radio, Sunday mornings, every Sunday morning, 11:30 to 1 on the East Coast. I'm also a contactee since the 1960s. I'm also from Mars originally, and I'm also very much into the Christ consciousness levels of the cosmic Christ. So I operate on those operational modes. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another wonderful show here. We took a little break the other night. That's why I wasn't on last night. You know, once in a while you need to take that little break. Laura, welcome everybody. Yolanda, all the new people use the 461. Danielle Hardy, Angela, good to have you with us. Thanks for the likes, everybody. Please, tap those buttons there. We want to get up to 50,000 likes tonight. We're going to be on till 12:30. Renee, welcome. One Toyota, good to see you as well. Welcome to the show, everybody. And also, we want you to support this show as much as you can, those that can. Thank you, everyone coming in here. We're just getting started. JJC3, good evening. Good to see you. Mike, a writer boy. Hello, Big Girl Storm. Good to have you with us. Susan Ray, thank you so much for that. Certainly, superpower is always a good thing. Brunette, Illinois. Mediator 53, thanks for the likes. Big Girl Storm, were you on last night? No. I took a break. I've been on, pretty much consistently. And last night, the command said, take a break. We want to do some re-energy work. And it was good. Sometimes you got to take a break. Christopher, hello. Adios, Snow. Good to have you with us. So we are fully amped up tonight and ready to go. So we're going to see what's going to happen. We never know what's going to happen. The beautiful part of this show, it's spontaneous. It's like creating a painting or a tapestry. You do the painting, but you don't know what the things are in the painting yet. Jesus is King. Welcome to the show, Jesus is King. Good to have you with us. Cherokee Rivers, JDRZ. I was trying to send you a message about an experience I had, but I believe your messages are private. I'll have to take a look. Well, we're now, I think maybe if you're on private mode, JDRZ, go to set your setting to not private, and then I can follow you back, and then I think that you'll be able to send me something. Jesus is King. Hope you're doing well. Let's see here. G Unit, welcome to the show. Brian Bites, Estella, Debris 66, A Walk with Nature. That's a great name. Certainly a lot of good names here. Trina Blue T Risen. Let's see, all the new people coming in here. You're on the show here tonight, folks, with Encounters. I'm hoping our contact with the DOD will be on tonight. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make sure she knows I'm on live. So I've got to make sure that she knows we're on live. So we're gonna find. We'll put her on here if she's in here tonight. And hopefully she is. Let's see what's going on here. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. So we're going to, here we go. I'm just putting a note to them. We are live. She may not be knowing that we're live. So I just sent our DOD contact a message to let her know we're on. Since we got through Labor Day weekend, I'm hoping she has some new information. We'll see. And also, if you have over 1,000 followers and you wish to share your UFO sighting information you're having or any encounters with, with definitely with the ET areas, we definitely want to hear from you. And we'd love to hear from you here. So let's do this here. And we'll definitely do this here. Just pressing a few buttons. Hello, everybody. Hello, Skip to Grace. Good to have you with us. Oh, Shai was on live last night. Well, hopefully I just sent her a message. Let's see. Alien Entertainment, good to have you with us. And hopefully we're going to see if I just posted some new videos on Astar Spaceship News. One is from South America, Argentina. And another one is from North Carolina. I just posted that about 15 minutes ago. That's some really interesting stuff happening in North Carolina. And also, the Department of Defense, the UFO site they have on the Department of Defense website, says the country with the most UFO sightings, or what they're calling UAP sightings, is Japan. I don't know why they say Japan, near where they had the nuclear plant that melted down in that area. But I don't think that's accurate because there's a lot of sightings all over the United States. In different states, there's more than some other states. There's things happening in Central and South America, all over the world. So when I read that report from the DoD that was published in their website now that has their UAP information, they evidently are monitoring Japan. Where would they get the information from to know that Japan has the most UFO non-terrestrial sightings? Well, obviously they know something. They must be monitoring the sightings in that country by reports or something. Lady Glitter, Sparkles, everybody here, welcome to the show. Chesno, thank you to one of my other moderators. Skip to Grace, Chesno, Marinee, all my moderators are here. Lewis, good to see you. Blessings to everybody. Mita, welcome to our show. Kentucky Mama. I see a lot of interesting names. Old something, and I couldn't get it all at once. Silver Daddy, welcome to our show. Rock Dog 690, welcome Rock Dog. Dawn, Alex Mommy, UFO Man, good to have you with us. Chevy Love, Down the Rabbit Hole is now here with us. So we have to bring our co-host in here. Hopefully he's kind of come up from the rabbit hole. Okay. I'm going to try to see what happens here.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, James. Welcome.
Hello, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is Encounters with CmdrAleon. I love
And
doing
I
that.
actually can. I'm going to bring my friend Skip to Grace on, who's with our Ashtar Command Group in Connecticut. And Skip is a friend of ours here in our group. And we are going to coordinate a Skywatch. Tomorrow's Thursday, so we're going to have to work really quick to get the group together. And Grace, welcome.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good to have you with
Hello.
us.
Hello, Miss Elderberry.
Yeah, that's right. I just made a batch. I
There you
make a
go.
I make a batch of elderberry every year this time of the year. So
Those
if
are
you're in,
those are really sweet berries. I've had those before.
yeah, you can't eat them raw. You have to cook them. If you don't
Oh, you
cook
do?
them,
Maybe I'm thinking about something else.
yeah, you
Yeah.
probably are. I mean, there is elderberry tea and all types of things you can do with elderberry, but you must cook it because if you don't, it could kill you. You got to be very
Oh,
careful with
then
that.
that's not something I've eaten, so that's a good
Yeah.
thing.
But yeah, so I'm so glad this must be something new TikTok is doing. Because I was just able to go on live for the first time the other day through
Hmm.
audio, which is super exciting because it's taken a
Yeah.
while for me to, be able to do such a thing. And I'm building, I'm new to TikTok, so I've been building my platform. And, as you know, it takes a while.
It does.
So
I know.
I'm stoked that this is a reality tonight. This is so good to be here. Hi everyone out there in the star land, our star friends. Hi
Yes.
everyone in the feed. Welcome to the room. But
Yeah.
Commander, I wanted to actually discuss a little bit about that photograph that I sent you this past week. That I texted to you in regards to the kind of cloaked ships that I saw above the Thames River in
Yeah, I
New
looked at that
England.
a little bit, and
So that,
I'm still reviewing it a bit. That
yeah.
was interesting.
So that photo, what was really interesting is if you enlarge it, there now to the naked eye, you could see. Now, mind you, I live right off the coastline of the Thames River in Connecticut. So I live
Yeah.
near the
The
EB,
sub
which is
base.
the nuclear sub. Yeah, sub
Yeah.
base is down the river, and then we have the nuclear plant that builds,
Yeah. Both.
the submarines, which I can visibly see from my deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I see activity all the time above there.
Where the nuclear sub base is, right?
Yes, and they've got third shift going on, so they're open. They're all going all the time. It's like a city, and
Mm-hmm.
they have I see activity going on all the time there. Now, what's really interesting is I've been able to over the
Hmm.
last year or more. I've been able to, like, I get up in the middle of the night because I'll get like this feeling I have to get up and I have to look
Yeah.
outside and take a look at the sky, the night sky, see what's going on. But what's really interesting is in the last couple of weeks, I've been
Yeah.
seeing this transparent kind of cloud markings that are
Hmm.
traveling horizontally and
Mm-hmm.
they are moving and they're just above the nuclear plant and they I've never seen clouds look like this before. They're
Yeah.
literally transparent, and that's why I took the photo.
Yeah.
And
No, it's different.
isn't it? And this
Yeah.
isn't the first time that I've seen this. Actually, the following day, I witnessed the same pattern in the sky. And
Hmm.
there's a very large pattern, and then in front of that large shape of cloud formation,
Mm-hmm.
I see little small clouds, but in front of it. So it's almost as it's like follow the leader of clouds.
Yeah, like one is the head and the other ones are following.
Yeah, and
Oh,
so they're like a mist though, and
yeah. Like
they
translucent, right?
absolutely translucent, and I just the energy coming off of them is quite profound. And
Yeah. Do
I
you
can't.
think
Mhm.
we're talking with our friend Grace? She's with our Ashtar C5 group, which I'm trying to get together this weekend or next weekend. I'm going to try to get together. But that's a whole nother story. Anyway, do you think that I met people years ago. I used to sell electronic equipment, and I sold electronic equipment. I beat a bid out from another state electronic company, and I sold it to the Underground Warfare Center. Now, for people that don't know this, and I never knew this, these people came from the Underground Warfare Center in Groton, Connecticut. There's an Underground Warfare Center in Groton.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you know
What is
this?
Underground
Wow.
Warfare Center?
Yeah,
Warfare
I've never
Center.
been there. I don't even know where it is, but they bought my electronic equipment when I was selling electronics years ago, and I beat the bid from another big company, and the government sent me a check because they didn't have the money right there. So I got my check. They got their equipment, and they told me they had electronic meters they ordered from me, a whole bunch of these meters, and we needed
Wow.
them, and they were from the Underground Naval Warfare Center in Groton.
Wow. Well, I know the
Yep.
subbase well, because I mean I'm from Mystic,
Yeah.
But I now live in New London, which is right on top of the base. But um, I've known that, first of all, they're highly, high security. So they're protecting our
Yeah. It is
coast.
high
They're,
security.
the claim is, protecting our waters, protecting our coast.
Yeah.
We also have the Coast Guard right here as well. So we
Yeah,
have
you
the
do. Yeah. I
Eagle.
know
The
it is.
Eagle is right here, the beautiful Eagle, the ship, the main ship that, patrols the waters in New England is here. I just saw it today, as a matter of fact, docked. So we have a lot of, military here,
Oh, yeah, we sure
and
do.
that's fascinating to me. But what was interesting is over the last year or so, I've actually trained my eye to be able to recognize what's a drone, what's an airplane or an
Hmm.
aircraft,
Hmm.
what is an actual, helicopter, what's a light that is coming from the actual building,
Yeah.
so I can see the difference between, I know that when we do the CE5, we, look very carefully and we decipher uh, what we're looking at. We kind of examine it and decide, hey, is that a satellite? Is that a
Yeah.
debris? And we look with nighttime goggles so we can kind of see if there's really action. If we question, we use discernment, right? And
Yeah,
we
we do. A
decide.
lot of discernment.
So this has like been a really great training exercise because it's allowed me to like train my eye and not like just actually exact and say, hey, you know what? There's something truly happening here. This is not just me guessing or saying, oh, well, or perhaps that's, a aircraft or I don't, and we have also on our phones, which is a great tool. We can watch the night sky and we can watch whether or not there's a satellite in the sky, or we can also watch whether or not there's plane activity. So we can open up the apps on the phone and we can check the patterns of the flights, because many times flights will be like invisible to the naked eye and they fly in the airspace, but we don't see them. So sometimes they may seem like they're, a spacecraft, but they're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I found that this is a super high kind of like exercise in like deciphering, but in right near Electric Boat, especially in the evening, about 3 o'clock in the morning, is when I would get called to go out to the beach and look, because I live right on the water, to look out at, the night sky, and there was always activity all the time
Yeah.
up in there. I know that like in our recent conversations, we talked about these sightings that, these, especially with I'm shy about the recent sightings around the bases.
Hmm.
And I do feel that this is potentially part of that because,
Yeah.
and that I work with psychic mediumship, so I also am sensing, like telepathically that
Oh, yeah, I know you
these
do.
are
Yeah.
also part of what is happening on our planet right now.
Yeah. No,
So,
I think I'm going to tell a little story that you remind. And I'm shy. Good evening. I'm shy, and we also have my friend Grace here, down a rabbit hole. James, our co-host. I'm shy. Good evening. Welcome.
Hello, how are y'all?
We're doing well. How are you doing?
I'm sick,
Oh
Oh
unfortunately.
no.
no!
Now that's a bummer.
now you need some of that
Yeah,
elderberry syrup.
Grace has some
yeah,
elderberry syrup for you. It'll make you better.
yeah, just a little cold I'm working through, but I'm all right.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, we don't need you to get sick. But that's a
Oh,
human thing, I guess. But I was going to mention before we
Alright.
get, and we're going to bring I'm shy into this too. Many years ago, we were on a ferry going from Groton to the eastern end of Long Island. For those who are around the world, we went past Plum Island. Plum Island is a base that is United States Department of Agriculture. That's what it is. When I was doing my TV show, and I'm going to share this story. This is another wild story for folks here. We were going we were coming back from Greenport, Long Island. I'm not sure even why we were over there, but there were three of us. And as we were coming back looking at the ocean, there was a big golden ship that all three of us were looking at. I said, you see that light there? This is past Plum Island. This is in the sky to the south, probably it was heading towards the southeast. It was this beautiful golden light. It was a ship. It wasn't, and we saw this thing. And at one point, the reason why I I contacted the people who was the director of Plum Island. And I wanted to go over there because I heard stories that there were underground installations and that they were working with certain ET areas. Now, the director, real nice guy, said he gave me the permission. I can come over to Plum Island, but I'd have to put a suit on. Then they'd have to put me through a shower. And then I'd have to, then I'd be able to go in there and then I have to shower and then come back. So as I was thinking it over, as much as I was courageous enough to want to do this show and go to Plum Island, the infamous Plum Island, I decided better judgment not to go.
Yeah, I know Plum Island very well. And I grew up on Long Island.
Yeah.
So,
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I grew up on Long Island. I'm sure you can hear the accent.
Your accent sounds a little like Kentucky to me.
Yeah. No, if I ask you if you want a cup of coffee, you'll know where I'm from. No, I think you're absolutely right about the precautions.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised that they were even going to let you
Oh, yeah,
on
they
to
were going to let me go
Plum.
in there with a TV camera and everything.
Wow.
But I started listening to my higher self. I listened to the Ashtar command. They said, no, Commander, we don't want you going there. There's something that's going to happen. I'm very happy to tell you I never went there. I do believe it is multi-facility base. Matter of fact, Shai's here, so we'll see what she knows about Plum Island, if she knows anything about that area. But I'm absolutely certain. Oh, what's going on? My cat is Missy. Stop. Her name is Missy.
I mean, something I want to say real quick though is particularly with bases, it's not just one level. I mean, there's sub levels and there's thumbs all around them typically. So that's something you need to remember. So, a lot of bases have active R&D. I mean, a majority of them do, or sub levels that investigate other things. So just keep that thought in your head. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Do you know anything about Plum Island?
Not particularly. I mean, I've heard a little bit, but
what about
nothing I can see for sure.
The Montauk base used to be the Air Force base in the 60s.
I'm sorry. Oh, no,
okay.
nothing in particular.
I figured I'd ask. You never know. What's happening in your world beyond getting better from having a cold?
Well, dude, a lot. I'm gonna be honest, a lot. A lot of NDAs are going out right now. Couple ominous messages to my department, saying things like that. I haven't been around here particularly because I'm just kind of playing it safe. I mean, there's a lot that's going on. I mean, there were some memos that were leaked and whatnot, and they declassified a bunch of UFO stuff. So I think we're all kind of tight-lipped about everything. People are getting slapped with NDAs regarding our last incident. Even me.
Wow.
So.
The higher ups are the higher ups don't want people talking about what happened that other weekend.
Absolutely not. But that's because there's some more information that came to light. But I just gotta wait a little bit.
Okay.
Regarding that.
But you are getting information, but you have to wait until is someone going to say, okay, go ahead and do it.
Absolutely. It'd have to be me who does that. But I mean, I got slapped with an NDA. So.
Oh, you got slapped personally?
Oh, yes. Everybody did.
What is
Everybody
that?
was in.
can you define what that is for the layman person out there?
Okay.
Boy.
So an NDA is basically an agreement made between you and whatever facility you'd like. Say the Department of Defense, any other joint
Mm-hmm.
government. It's a confidentiality agreement.
Mm.
So whatever is outlined in that NDA is something that you're strictly prohibited from talking about, and it's legally
Mm-hmm.
binding. So if you say
Wow.
anything about it, typically you're at risk of the military police or whatnot busting down your door.
Really? So they
Yeah,
got everybody on lockdown in a way.
absolutely.
So they're censoring you until they uncensor you.
Well,
Do you think
yeah,
they're doing
it's
that?
not
Do
it's
you
not
think
going to
they're
be up
trying
for
to
30
work?
years.
Well, do you think they're trying to figure out what to do now? Because the public knows this is going on. This was a show that broke the news, and you broke it with us. So they got to be knowing that, there's a show here. The whole world, I got this on YouTube already. It's on my YouTube channel. It's on my Facebook. People I know that I trust, I've sent the show to Colin Andrews, my friend in Connecticut, who's a well-known researcher on crop circles and other areas. And I sent a copy to Nick Pope. He hasn't responded to me, but I know he's gotten the program. So do you think they're a little bit nervous?
Yeah, especially because there's a deadline on the Inspector General right now to provide the six-man caucus of
Mm-hmm.
congressional board members to give personal dates, places of crash retrieval operations, the names of people that are withholding it, etc. And that's due
Yeah,
in 2 weeks.
in two
So,
weeks.
Whoa.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
that might not be
So,
public, but they're going to get that knowledge in 2 weeks. So whatever they
okay. So
decide to do
now,
with that,
yeah. So now it's public here that within 2 weeks they have to, the DOD has to come forward to this committee,
no, the Inspector General. So,
Inspector General.
multiple whistleblowers, not just David Grush. I'm going to tell you that right now. There's multiple people from
Right.
the NGA, MRO, even some from the CAA,
Yeah.
that have provided evidence, photo and video, to the Inspector General,
Mm-hmm.
and which I'm not particularly sure if that evidence is going to be given to them, but I know for a fact the
Okay.
facility locations, the names of the people holding these facilities accountable, stuff like that is all going to be released to them, and
Wow.
so that's really good. That's good,
That is good. And you're hearing it
So we'll
right
see how that
here on
goes.
Encounters. Yeah, that is good. So,
Hopefully they
that's
follow the
some
money.
information. Go ahead, James.
Yep.
I was going to say, just hopefully they follow the money because the
Oh, yeah,
money's
follow the
coming
money.
from somewhere.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean,
Yep.
whatever it is, I think they're trying to get down to the bottom of it. I think those 6 congressional board members, I mean, they're not, or the 6 members of the caucus, that is.
Yeah, the caucus.
They're not giving up, which gosh, it's so back and forth because, all the time I've been within this agency, I've kind of seen like attempts, especially, when the videos were released by the Pentagon, that was
Mm.
something, and then all the heat died down. And I kind of lost hope for a little bit, which I guess I'm pretty pessimistic for that. It's just I feel so bad, and I say that only because the sheer amount of evidence we have, it's kind of incomprehensible, and the fact that
Yeah.
more hasn't, come out is a little silly to me, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're making waves on this show, and down the road when we look back at it, you can thank yourself for being courageous to come and we've become really good friends, you, me, and James, and a lot of respect by our audience. And everything we're doing is the right way. And what you can't say, we hold off until you can say it, and you know that. And so we don't force you to say stuff that's going to get you in trouble. But you'll tell us if it's okay for you to say something, and we thank you for that. I thank you for that. And
Also, yeah, there are people in the. Yeah, I appreciate you tons, but I just want everybody's kind of worried in the. I'm fine, guys. I am very safe with what I say. There's some sensitive information that I've released, but that's not only information I know. This is thousands of people that all know the corroborated. They know the same thing, and my voice isn't the most distinct. I mean, I promise I'm all right. There's thousands of departments around the United States that
yeah,
know the same things I
You're
they're
do.
all
gonna
telling you
give
to be
your
careful,
voice
but she knows what
changer.
she's doing, folks. She knows what she's doing. Believe
I
me.
appreciate y'all though.
You know.
It's really kind.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they'll love you. So there you go. So you can't beat that. And the other thing is that as we see all this transforming, and this show will be also posted on my YouTube channel, which I'm doing a lot of activity on, and also on Facebook
Yo,
again. So people in my social media realm and on my radio show, I've actually rebroadcasted our last show, almost the whole thing about the UAPs. I broadcasted on my NPR station for 2/3 of the show. I interjected, but I let people say, this is from here. So it got on my radio station too. So not only on here, but on my radio station reaches all over the state of Connecticut and all over the world. I'm making sure these broadcasts, when we have them, segments of them are on my radio show as well. So the word is getting out.
Good. And you know, and really what it comes down to is there's nothing we can do. You know, we're like
Right.
far too we're like ants in this cog. Like me, I'm an ant. I have zero
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm really, you know, I mean, there's again, we're working against the kingdom, you know, like people that have been here since, you know, operating this, not the same people obviously, but this apparatus that's been operating this since the 30s.
Right.
So, you know, and you think about someone like me and the gist of things and like how much I know. And then we think about the fact that I have intimate knowledge of, you know, the movement of these things and where they are. And then I think about the
Yeah.
people who operate crash retrievals, right? And that are actually in them, you know, not
And what
just
are they
cooperating,
seeing?
helping them with transport. You know, what he just said. Well, what have they seen? And they definitely have it. They definitely have it written down somewhere, pictures, video, you know,
Mm-hmm.
as clear as it is.
Have you made
But I think
friends? Go ahead.
no, what were you saying? You're good.
No, finish your thought, and then I have a question.
You know, there's people who've seen things, and I think that we're not going to slow down. And I think that, you know, there are more people coming forward. I can tell you that 100%. More people came to the
Mm-hmm.
Inspector General. More people are talking to people like Jeremy Corbell, George Knapp. They just haven't announced it,
Yeah.
which they will
Ooh.
eventually.
Yeah. Now, the retrieval people that do the retrieval of the, let's just say it, spaceships or non-terrestrial craft, have you made friends with any of those folks yet?
I'm not going to speak on that.
And again, if you can't, don't do it. That's an answer right there in itself without saying anything. If you do eventually, let's say nonchalantly, make friends with somebody who feels the same way you do, we'd love to have them come on the show with us.
You
Just
know,
saying
I've,
in the future, whatever.
mhm. You know, and it's not just one, but you know, if hypothetically that were the case, there'd be a couple people. But um, there's a metamaterial department um, employee of a certain private corporation that been giving me some pretty interesting stuff, photo wise and etc. And I think I'm gonna compile them into a Google Drive, and I got to think about it. But I think I'm gonna send them to you. I just it's a lot of highly sensitive stuff, so I need to make sure that I can't be traced back to it in any way, shape, or form.
Right,
Because I mean, this isn't like a. I mean, they're not
right.
like it's a lot. I
No,
mean,
whatever you do, and believe me,
P.O. Box
we love you,
disclosure.
and we're your friend now. I mean, you know who I am, and you know who
That's
James
right.
is. So whatever you send us, we're gonna do it the right way, and we're not gonna. I mean, my background is news media and broadcasting, so anything you send me that's confidential, that you tell me
well, you
to
know, if
share.
anything gets sent your way, it's not me. I'm just gonna say it. I'll say that, you know, just for just.
No, it's not you. I'm not gonna
There
say
we
it's you
go.
at all.
Address it to Ken at WESU FM. Send it to the radio station.
Yeah.
Yeah, radio. It's a radio station. It's radio.
I knew after we had the last show with I'm Shy about I knew you were going to get hit with a gag order. It was just like it was just a feeling I had, and I'm not
Yeah,
surprised.
yeah, Grace,
Oh
tell her
yeah.
about who you are. Shy, Grace has some insights. Tell her your background so she'll understand how you knew this.
Oh, well, I've worked as a psychic medium for since I was 15, and for many many years. But I live on the coast. I grew up in Long Island, and I live on the coast right now, in Connecticut, near the sub base and the actually, there's the Coast Guard Academy, and then we also have the Groton sub base. So we have not only EB, which is a nuclear, they build nuclear subs, and I see subs coming in constantly. You
Hmm.
know, guarding the waters. But the other day, I witnessed, and over the last few days, I've witnessed around 6 to 7 transparent cloud formations above the this area. Right, I
Oh
could
wow.
see with my visible eye. And I'm trained to look at the night sky. I've done CE5 for over 5 or 6 years. I started doing CE5 in Florida with Dr. Stephen Greer, and then went on to, I moved back up here, and I met Commander through the show. But this I saw in broad daylight,
Mm.
and the sky was as clear as a bell, and I could see the formations moving right over the base,
And they
right over
weren't
the plant.
dissipating. The clouds weren't dissipating. They were just slowly moving,
Yep,
correct?
yep. They were
Yeah.
like
That's
a
the strange part.
veil, and
Yeah.
in like the shape almost of a triangle, or
Hmm.
like in a shape of like a disc, or they
Mm-hmm.
were very
Interesting.
small. There were like 6, 7 of them that were very small, and then there was a very large one. And the large one was behind the smaller ones. And
That
they
probably was a mothership or the main ship.
listen, I've never seen anything like it. And I look at the night sky, I look at the sky day and
Mm-hmm.
night, and I've never seen anything like it. And I know that, there we are, from my experiences in the evening on the Thames River, because I get up and I get like telepathic kind of nudges that say, okay, it's time to get up and look at the sky. So I'll get up and go out on my deck and observe the night sky. And I've, been kind of trained my eye now to, kind of discern what's a plane and what's a drone, and, what's a actual, something else. So, it's
Right, have you
been,
seen anything like that with the clouds?
I don't know if you remember, but we had this yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's certain equipment that's actually so synthetic aperture radar is a tool used to monitor certain, and I'm going to quote here, imagine air quotes, weather anomalies.
mhm.
So it's so if something's in a cloud, then you know, and we use that sort of, I'll say technology because I don't want to get myself in trouble here, but that sort of technology wouldn't be too crazy to see something that's actually moving along with the clouds, or sort of, I wouldn't be able to dictate whether it's moving along it or if it's controlling it. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
what you just said, I think, is a pretty interesting thought.
Yeah, and
Mm,
what's
it is.
so
Uh,
incredible about it is the sky itself was as blue as a bluebell, and there was nothing else in the sky but those.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, and a couple of days in a row.
Yeah. That's
Um,
absolutely crazy.
yeah, I felt that there's definitely something unique, and I know that Electric Boat just received a huge contract. I mean, they're going to be building like multiple subs, and they will be
Multiple subs. You mean nuclear subs?
yeah, they're going to be building they've grown tremendously in the last few years
Hmm.
here. Yeah, at one point they were at risk, but as we know, warfare is
Yeah, it's
very,
where the money
very
unfortunately is.
prominent.
Yeah.
Hmm. And
But
we
so
see.
do you
Mhm.
think those ships, this is Encounters, let me just take a little mini break here. The Late Night UFO Talk Show, please, I want to get up to 50,000 likes here tonight. We have 5.5 likes, that's it. We have 143 people. Let's amp it up, folks. Get excited here. Also, we want to also have you do your gifting. So if you want to send any gifts, any galaxies or things like that, and show your love for what we're doing here, we really do appreciate that, because it takes a lot of work to do what we're doing here, to bring out disclosure, to talk about these things, people sharing their stories, people that have
um,
had visitations. It's really important.
Yeah,
I
and
agree,
somebody,
absolutely.
Commander, just not to interrupt you, Shai, but somebody in the
You're good, you're good.
comments mentioned
Well,
something about Gunnywomp in Groton. Have you, Randy Harris mentioned Gunnywomp. What is it about Gunnywomp? Do you know that site, Commander?
I no, I don't know much about it myself.
Okay,
Are you talking
Gunnywomp,
about the archaeological site?
yes, it's in
Okay.
Groton, and I've been there, but somebody in the comments mentioned it, and I was just wondering if they knew something more about it, because I've gone there and studied that site with some earth scientists,
Hmm.
and they don't understand why they have the rock formations that they do there. They haven't been able to
Interesting.
figure it out. Yeah, we have quite a few archaeological sites in Connecticut. We have many sites
Yeah.
that most people are unaware of.
Hmm.
Um,
I've never heard of it really. I don't think.
I saw this individual yesterday actually on TikTok, funny enough, and I can't speak on credibility at all, but very interesting stuff. So his name, here, let me get on my computer and look. He basically has, I think it's alien artifacts or something like that, and he's trying to do carbon dating on these artifacts that are like they're clearly, it's very intricate. I mean, it's some crazy stuff. I encourage anybody to look at his channel just for pure curiosity. And let me find it real quick. I don't want to just um, and also another core piece of information that I forgot I was totally going to tell you about when I came on here. Oh yeah, David Grush is going to be speaking again.
Hmm.
Oh
100%.
yes.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
100%. There's reasons at play that he hasn't been speaking right now. Um, but he will definitely be speaking again.
Do you think he's going to be bringing more information to the table?
Yes. Yeah. I do.
Was
Ooh.
he like testing the waters in the first hearing?
I couldn't say his motives exactly because I didn't have that. I didn't know him.
Yeah.
I just kind of knew people that knew him. So I wouldn't be able to speak on that exactly, but he was definitely being
Okay.
cautious because
Yeah.
he was pre-authorized to say everything he said, and
Yeah. I know he
if not,
was.
he would have sued. But the Department of Defense
Wow.
authorized him to say every single thing he said. Um,
Really?
so yeah, every single thing. So he couldn't say anything more than that.
Mm,
Um, so and I'm under the implication now that there's a little less restriction and almost muzzling on him. Um,
hmm.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool stuff. Also, the TikTok channel, his name's Alien Carvings. He does carbon dating on some of the things that are third party
Really?
tested. Yeah, and he had one of these things. I mean, it's clearly a saucer of some sort,
Hmm.
and it's dated to like 5,000 years ago, I believe. It's on his
Wow.
website, even proof of it. So, I mean, and
I'm
a lot
gonna
of the stuff he finds, I'll type the name in.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to get him
Hey,
on my show
Shy,
here one night.
you
Is that?
said that you've got a friend that deals with the metamaterials and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, what kind of crazy stuff is coming out of that lab?
Yeah.
Um, satellite, satellite implementation of these materials, um, carrier implementation, and prototype vehicle implementation
What?
and weapon implementation.
So okay, so they're using these. Are they able to recreate these metals?
No, no, they can
Hmm.
So
utilize
they
them to a certain extent, but it's not like they're fully in control of them.
Hmm.
Incorporating them because of their unique properties, that's a different story.
Yeah, that
You
makes
say unique
sense.
properties. I know, like
I
us here on Earth, we're carbon based. I'm assuming that in these other areas, they're not carbon based. Is that what you're like leaning towards?
Well, not the actual
Hmm.
material itself, but that statement's true. Um, there is well, I'll say in my opinion, um, non-carbon based life. Um,
Hmm.
but in terms of what he works on, I mean, it's just the implementation of these things like stealth utility, radar manipulation utility, um, covert, really, it's a majority covert operation type stuff that
Yeah.
is implemented. I can't speak too much on him. I've got to be very careful about that sort of topic,
Yeah.
so I apologize.
I have a question,
Right.
Shai. I was wondering if you know anything about if our visitors that are coming from, star visitors are coming from dropping in from dimensions, and if you know anything about that, or if there's any talk about dropping in and out of dimensions, and that's and the reason why they're here and gone so quickly.
There are,
Any knowledge on that? Any insight you can give us?
in my opinion, there are events that aren't typical. And when I say not typical, I mean in terms of just appearing and disappearing. So we
Mm-hmm.
talked last time about one of these incidents in the biggest capacity I'd ever seen, which I'm very careful speaking on that because it's just
Mm-hmm.
a very, very tricky. It was the last podcast I was on with Commander M. And those events that had happened all over the world, supposedly, um,
Yeah.
or hypothetically, Witness displayed some of that capability, but on a way bigger scale. So I'm saying we have not seen things like that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder what the heck
So
those
like
scientists are cooking up in there.
just appearing like with no telemetry data to back it up.
Hmm.
Um, active jamming on military equipment, which is that's typical of these things in general. But when they're just appearing with, not even coming from out of orbit,
Yeah.
that's where it gets a little bit fishy. Um,
Yeah. Because Dr.
Yeah.
Greer does talk about the dimensional, popping in and out of dimensions, which was what, when I first began my journey with this topic, I was feeling that, I know that, when we meditate or we pray or we go into, spaces that are, higher level, in our own minds through dream state or whatever, or even awakened state, we can travel through the dimensions like an astral travel and meet up with, different entities, species, you name it. I feel like is there a correlation, do you believe?
what correlation between what? One
What's
more time.
happening with
I
the
don't.
activity? With the star
Well,
people visiting, with spaceships, with craft. I mean, or do you believe that it's a natural phenomenon that they're just entering into our,
oh no,
airspace?
absolutely not. I think they visited here way prior.
Yeah.
Um, we've actually, there are hypothetically, there are multiple sites that, are archaeologically important that have even, you know, so let me throw the example around. So imagine you find a plane, right? Like a Boeing, but whatever Boeing model you'd like, and you find it in under a pyramid, right? That'd be a
Yes.
little weird. So that's the type of stuff I'm talking about here. So
Hmm.
archaeologically significant sites with not just carvings of these things, but a little bit more than just that.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes, I totally understand that. I feel like they've been here for eons, eons and eons.
And you
And
see
speaking
the
of,
genetic leap
Mm-hmm.
um, in the
I was going to
Y
say,
chromosome, but
I want to ask
leave that
Shia
there.
this question, and maybe you can answer it. Remember a while ago, it was last year maybe, these things were showing up on monolith that was like they were like shiny, and I think some of them were faked, but they were making these things were getting on a little bit of Facebook, a little bit in the circles of UFO people and other people. Do you know anything about that? Do you remember hearing those stories about the monoliths that were just like 2001, but these things were like in the middle of nowhere in a desert somewhere?
Like they were discovered in the desert somewhere?
Yeah,
Is
they
what
were
you're saying?
discovered. Some people say some of them were fake. They could be, but I wanted to get your perception of that, if you knew anything about it.
I wouldn't know too much about that individually,
Okay.
but one thing I do want to say is there are definitely archaeological, and this it doesn't even have to be related to non-human intelligence at all, but archaeological things that are being hidden. I mean,
Yeah.
particularly
Yes.
things that would date us at a different date than we've typically been dated in archaeology.
Yeah.
Mm. So, if you have, I don't know if any of you have followed these people on TikTok who have artifacts or carvings that are uh, alien-esque, or could be unexplained, and they predate, historic times. They go very, very
Hmm.
far back. They can't really date them. Um, they're literal collections of carvings, and I think that there are also examples of things like that we like glimpses that we see, and that it keeps us wondering and keeps us like saying, wow, there's something more, and that we're not really alone in our thinking. And this is what's so great about the show, Commander, is that we're all not alone in our thinking. Like we have a place to join together and,
Right.
support one another and bring people on the show and talk about, our experiences, and not to be laughed out of the, you know,
Yeah.
uh, arena. I love that.
That's a
And hmm
No, I was going to say, in terms of what you're saying on encounters, the reason why I was like thinking, where should I go here with this when I got on TikTok? I should definitely do a TV show like
hmm
my radio show, but a TV version of it with the same concept. It made more sense for me to do this. Nobody was doing it. Sure, you have people with agendas about the ETs, but that's not a talk show. That's an agenda. Here, because of my background with the Ashtar Command before the internet started, with my contacts off planet, with my contactee experience since I was a kid, and seeing so many of these spaceships, I don't call them UFOs, at least the ones I've seen. Uh, I had the background with the media and everything else, and spiritually, with my experience being consciously awakened and saying that I'm from another planet here, which people can either take or leave, and I didn't care because I
hmm
said it when I was a little kid, in the 60s to two other kids, and they were not happy about that. And then, I don't know, I blurted it out for some reason. I didn't think about it. And, later on in life, when I got older, I was able to come to looking at in the mirror of myself and saying, you know what, I'm going to be who I am. I'm going to be that person. I know about Mars. I know about the population. I know about what goes on in Mars. Whether people believe me or not doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But I'm going to share the story. And I have so many times on my radio show in 20 years of being on radio and on TikTok. I've come out of the closet about it. And I don't care. It's not some fantasy. Everything I
hmm
have experienced or have done, I have experienced. My memories are very clear. Like I said, I'll tell people before, there are 10 to 15 million people living on Mars. Now, I can't give you documents on that. I just remember that. It's a memory. It's a memory that is activated. Whether people believe it or not doesn't matter to me. Whether you believe I come from working with the Ashtar Galactic Command before the internet existed, I've been working with them way before there were websites or internet or, any of that stuff. So it's
It,
real,
yeah, and
you
it's
know?
wonderful. Like this, we have a person here, friends with fairies, saying, I am one. I've been seeing entities for years, and Commander gave me the courage to talk about it." So, and that's in the comments. So
Yeah,
Hey,
it's,
no, I've done. This place is a place for disclosure for people to come out of the closet about where they remember they're from. There's many more people here on the planet that are coming out saying I'm a star seed, meaning they're coming from another planet. Now, if there was only one person saying it out of a billion, you might say, "Oh, what's wrong with that person?" But there's too many people remembering things. So are they making it up? Is it their imagination? Is there wishful thinking? No, I think all these people that are coming on the show they've come from somewhere else and they remember it. They actually are having, some of them are even having contact experiences with those space people, actual
mm,
contact. So we're in a whole new paradigm right now. I think in 2023 versus 1963, we're in a different paradigm. And people can now come out and say, yeah, I do remember where I'm from. I have had visitations. I love it. And then we have Shai, who's become a deep friend of ours, James and ours in the group of our live show, who's giving us information when she's able to do it. And we respect her and we don't push her. We let her give it when she can give it. And she knows that. So yeah, it's a place where we have a close knit show here, but it's open to the whole world. And hopefully I want the whole world in here to watch this show and to see the dynamics of what we're doing. And speaking of that, if you really love what we're doing, please show some love with some galaxies. I haven't seen anything like that tonight. Maybe a whale, some lights going over. If you have those, there you go. Give me a green light.
There's
Oh,
Everybody.
one right
nothing.
now.
The
Thank you
Thank
so much.
galaxy is
you.
here.
Tic Tac, we love you. Thank you. Any other people want to send some love that have those coins? Tic Tac coins is sitting there getting dust on them. Let's get some
Dusty
other things.
coin.
Any dusty coins. So you got any whales out there? Is there any people with whales? What do we got
Whoa,
here?
what is that? The
Oh, that's
shooting. The
Trisha, thank
stars of
you.
the
Trisha, thank you.
galaxy are
beautiful. It's like a
Thank
here.
you. That's
meteorite
beautiful.
shower.
That's
So,
beautiful. And let's see who the third one's going to be with something wild. Who's the next person that's going to say, the heck with it, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do
I
something
want to see
wilder
the
than me.
dancing monkey.
I want to see the dancing monkey. I want to see the whale that goes swimming in the ocean. Anybody have that whale thing? I don't know what
oh
it looks
my
like. I just know
gosh.
it's a blue whale, and it's if you have the coins to do it,
And they're so
show us a
beautiful.
whale. You know.
Yeah, so Mystic
Hey,
And then there's
Maven.
a
I
Yeah,
wanted to
Karen.
ask Shy a question,
yeah.
Mm-hmm,
Let's get
and
mm-hmm.
back to that.
I don't want to get too personal, Shy, but since you've been on the show and you've been putting yourself out there, you are exposed to stuff that we can only dream to see. Has this affected your personal spiritual journey or your metaphysical
Hmm.
journey? Have you changed the way you look at things? Or like when you hear us talking about psychic ability and CE5 and all that stuff, does that stuff intrigue you, or you just stick to the nuts
Yeah,
and bolts of it?
I used to think it was a load of baloney, actually, before I started working here.
Hmm.
And then I kind of changed my mind. I did a full 360, or I guess 180,
Wow.
in terms of looking at the spiritual side. And I would love, like, and really what it was, is someone told me, well, I got video. Actually, the person who constructs, well, we discussed him, I'll leave that at that, but of him using certain technology to do the CE5 protocol, but it seemed way more effective than the typical implementation. And
Right,
that
you
was
were
because he
Hmm.
saying
had
about
about
that weeks
$10,000
ago.
worth. Yeah, I need to learn more about that. I'm trying to get him to do something like that with me, but we'll see.
Hmm.
And even stuff like astral projection, I used to think was baloney. No, I disagree now, 100%, I
Oh
think there's a
yeah.
whole
Hmm.
different
Let
realm
me
of
let me
living.
ask you, as you develop more, did you ever think that maybe you would be able to make personal contacts with these beings and maybe tell them, "Hey, I'm on the inside. I wanna be your friend. Let's
Hmm.
take down this cabal together." You might be able to be one of the first ambassadors to the Ashtar
Yeah.
Command.
Could be.
I would love to. And like the thing is, my life, like before this, like it's honestly like changed. Like, the way I think about things. I was
Hmm.
when I started working here, I didn't think I'd be seeing the things I was gonna see. I thought I would be helping with military operation, which I do, and just helping with everyday military operations, wherever it may be, monitoring Yemen or anything, taking oblique imagery photos of the ocean floor. I didn't I didn't expect like the level of things that I was going to be exposed to, and it all happened when I got TS. Like,
Can you share
and
Wow.
that story? Like the first, like you're at your job, you're scanning the ocean bottom, or like you said, you're
Right.
looking at a place in Yemen, and then all of a sudden, what was the moment where you were like, "Excuse my," and Commander, I know you don't like cursing, but I gotta say it like this: when you were sitting in your office, Shy, and you were like, "Holy shit, this stuff is real." Can you share that first like moment with us?
yeah, well, actually, yeah, I can. So I was actually taking oblique imagery photos of the ocean floor in cooperation with a nuclear submarine's LiDAR assignment. And I had gotten well, it's not technically a notification, but we have software that notifies us when something enters atmosphere. So I was assigned on duty, and this was about a week after I'd gotten TS. And so it was a fleet of objects, and we had actually had Reaper footage that had caught it on its descent about 20,000 feet, and it had entered around 85. So I got I cried after work that day. Um,
Wow.
funny enough. And I mean, that stuff was just so shock. I mean, it even makes me, I'm thinking back on it, I'm kind of shaking because, like, I think of where I was then, um, and it was scary. I mean, and and I remember
Sure.
talking to somebody about it, for the first time, and you know what they said? Oh, that's it? And I'm like, what? Did you just say that's it? I'm like, and he's like, yeah, stuff like that happens all the time. I'm like, oh
So
wow.
when you were
And
like doing your orientation, you're sitting in
Right.
there, they weren't like, hey, by the way, you might see something
Yeah,
out of
you're
this
gonna see
world.
something.
There was no heads up, or they just threw
no, they
you in
call
and they were like,
everything.
oh, by the way.
That's actually a great question. But what they do is they don't word it like that. It's anything unexplained in my department. So if anything's unexplained, quote unquote, you immediately report, and that's that. They never say, and that was, the terminology UAP hadn't really taken full effect in rules and regulations at that, time period. It is now. I think it's a more talked about issue, and if you see it, there's certain rules that outline how you're supposed to assess the situation. You know, connection with NORAD, whatever it may be. But
Yeah.
then it was just unexplained. Anything unexplained, no propulsion, anything like that. And I just typically thought, okay, that's just, words to, if it ever happens on the rare side of things, then we'll know how to handle it. But, then it turns out it's not so rare. It's just as much as this is a huge secret that, is being hidden. So no, they don't warn. They tell you what to do in situations like that, who to report it
Yeah.
to, and how to proceed. But
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
So
and
like
So
I
like
you're
think
you
you're
said, your first time you saw it, you were emotionally distraught. They didn't say, "Hey, here's our UAP counselor. You should go
yeah.
talk to them." They didn't offer any like type of like how to. I'm
like
just trying to get
therapy.
into like therapy pretty much.
I feel like I feel like I'm shy is you're it's like a gift you're being given because you're
Yeah.
having a dual experience, you're
Now,
it's
I
just
think it's more of a gift and a curse because she's
yeah.
seeing so much that's happening
Well, I
that
don't
she
think it's a
wants to
curse.
expose.
I
And, let's be honest too, she's seen some sad things that have,
Oh yeah, she has.
as a human,
Yes, yes, yes,
we
yes.
cannot
That's right.
tolerate. And so
And
it's really breaking her,
that's a big part of it. That's a big part of it, I think, too, down the rabbit hole. James, I feel like uh, that's part of the gifting that comes, the divine
Yeah.
gifting and
Yeah.
expansion. And there's no mistaking that you're in the place you are,
Right.
shy, and that you're here. There's no mistake that you're here
There's
in
no
the.
mistakes. There's no mistakes
Hmm.
that we met Shy here or James met Shy or there's
Absolutely.
no mistakes. Somehow in the universe, you were supposed to meet me and then James and now Skip, Grace, and a number of people who are watching our show. There's no it's meant to be. I can't put it into words, but you're where you're supposed to be. Where my coming on TikTok is no mistake. I was guided by people saying you got to go on TikTok, go on TikTok. So I worked really hard to get to that 1,000. I said, now what am I going to do? Then I
Yeah.
said, now I know what I'm going to do. So this is
hold
what
on,
happened.
wait. Starshine just made a comment. Why do I imagine Shy liking candy? And I'm going to tell you what, I get the same vibe. I get like she likes like she's like a Twizzler fan or a Jolly Rancher fan. Or
well,
so which one
funny
is it,
enough,
Shy? Are
funny
we right?
enough, I don't know if you can hear this right now, but I've got a bag of Jolly Ranchers right next to me.
Jolly
Jolly
Ranchers, I knew it.
Ranchers.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Starshine sent like wrapped candy. That is so
There you go.
funny.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
yeah, you know what?
I
That's a
got
good
it.
thing.
And
I
Shy, what
like
you have
gummy
to understand is
bears.
your energy is you have a lot of potential, untapped potential, and I can't wait to see. I hope if disclosure doesn't happen anytime soon, I hope that not only do we get to see you, help bring disclosure, but for you to have personal and spiritual growth kind of with
Yeah.
us, because like
Yeah.
you said, all of this changed your life, and it's daunting, and we're picking up on your energies as far as you
Oh yeah.
liking candy, and we have psychic abilities, and you said it yourself, astral projection, and all the stuff the CIA has
Yeah.
done. And
Yeah.
I just think that your soul is. I can't wait for you to find out who your star seed is.
Yeah. I know that I can just say this about I'm shy, and I read energy from people know I read people's energies when they tell me stories. And I can if I close my eyes, that's how I do it. For some reason that's the way I do it. I've known I'm shy for a long time now. So I will say this much as I tune into I'm shy, that you're not from this world. I don't know if you believe that or not, but you're definitely from a planet where people are very lighthearted, is the word that comes to mind, lighthearted, very much at peace, and very happy. People are very happy. So lighthearted, happy, at peace. Those are three wonderful things. I don't know exactly where you're connected with, but you'll find that out soon enough. Once the contacts are made, once we have the disclosure of physical contact, that point, whenever that is, you'll get to meet them, and they are human like we are. I will tell you that they are very advanced spiritually, and you come from that galactic lineage that you're now going to start. That's why you had a 180 or 360-degree turn when you went into the DoD. Your eyes were opened by things. That's what it took to like open your eyes. That's what happened. And for you, that's where it was.
Thank you so
Does that
much for
make
saying
sense?
that. Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. But another thing I was just thinking about, I cannot, ask me a couple months ago if I would have been on here, and I would have said absolutely not. Um,
You
yeah,
said those crazy flat earthers.
Those
it's a
crazy
little
people.
shocking to me
Those
that
people
I'm,
from planet Earth. Those crazy
Those
people.
aluminum hats.
Those tinfoil hat wearing crazy bastards. Yep.
And a person named
Tinfoil hat.
down the rabbit hole coming up and looking like a human being out of the rabbit hole. Whoever thought?
this has
We're all
definitely been an
crazy down
experience.
here.
Wait down
It's
in the
been a
rabbit
great
hole.
one.
You didn't talk about the candy you like to eat. What kind of candy do you like to eat?
Who,
Um,
Do you
James?
have a
I've
favorite?
I've actually I'm still fat, but I've just lost 100 pounds in the past nine
Good for
months.
you.
I
What?
have
Nice.
Yeah, I do not eat candy. I'm almost 40. I've never had a cavity, but I like eating food.
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 Mm.
So it's not candy. Candy is not my vice. It's just food. But I've been
Do you
on
like?
keto. I'm doing great.
Wow.
I actually
Congratulations.
work. I actually work in the food world, so it's kind
Oh,
of
you do?
hard not to be.
Yeah.
Yes, on the national level, with the National
Is it
Restaurant
is it
Association.
dealing with carrots? Like, do you sell carrots or eat carrots? I was wondering, is that the food you're
No,
talking about?
no, but I'm really pushing for disbandment of the FDA because
Okay.
That's
they
funny.
they're
God.
messing up Shy's candy. Her
Yep.
candy
Yeah.
could be so much better if they didn't have all
Wow.
the chemicals in it. And
Exactly.
I'm working with a group of people from Coca-Cola, McDonald's, not the CEOs, but people within these companies to try to
Yeah.
expose food differences in Europe compared to America, pretty much.
Oh, good. You should do that.
Yeah,
Somebody says,
that's
I bet Shy's
nice.
got blue eyes. I don't think Shy has blue eyes. Shy, what do you
I
say?
don't. I don't. I'm not going to give my
I
name out
didn't
because,
think.
I'm very careful about what
Yeah,
I
you can't be
describe
Yeah,
of
Yeah,
let's
myself.
not
yeah.
let's not try to let's not try to do a
Actually,
caricature of her on here now.
Yeah,
okay.
no.
Actually, down the rabbit hole is I'm shy, and I'm shy is down the rabbit hole. So we're gonna
Yeah.
get people
Yeah,
Oh,
confused here.
she's got the
yeah,
hair of an
exactly.
Italian stallion.
That's
So,
right.
what other things, James, do you want to disclose in the DoD? I'm just kidding you.
Yeah.
Well, like I told Shy, my father he retired out of the military 35 years. He was in the Pentagon for 15 years. He warned us about 9/11 before it happened.
Wow.
Um, he's
Amazing.
he was in the Navy and he's seen stuff come in and out. But that old coot won't tell me anything.
Oh,
He
oh my
won't tell
God.
me anything. And I know he knows stuff because now Shai will understand this. My father worked in the department that controlled and monitored all of the president's phone calls. You know, the electronic part, making sure it wasn't hacked, making
NSA?
sure nobody. I'm sorry.
Did he work in the NSA or a
No,
different
no,
department?
He was in the Navy. He was in the Navy, but
Oh, I see.
He worked in the department in the Pentagon that monitored all the phone calls,
Oh,
communications. So really high clearance, really high, being able to listen on phone
Hmm.
calls, making sure they weren't getting tapped or hacked or anything like that. Yeah.
yeah. And something
Wow.
interesting is like a lot of the older individuals do not talk like
Yeah.
Yeah.
at all. It's because they're. I
No.
mean, honestly, I get it. I mean, I think
They they
they're
take
scared.
everything to the grave. They really
Yeah.
do.
I
Yeah.
thought I was. Funny enough, I thought I was never gonna. I didn't think I would tell anybody about this. I
Uh,
don't. I don't even know. I think I was just there had been so much buildup, honestly, that I don't know if I couldn't help myself when I
Hmm.
joined. It's just like,
How did
you know, what were you saying?
I was just say I'm very interested, and I don't think I've broached the subject. As a person growing up, what made you decide to? How did you get yourself into this focus in your life? Did you have any other plans in your life that you wanted to maybe travel, be a doctor, or anything? How did this happen? I think that's a
Well,
fascinating story.
at first I wanted to go into law, and then when I got out of high school, I was like, okay, well, let me think about it. What do I really want to
People
do?
hate
And I was like,
lawyers.
I'm like, do I really want to be a lawyer? And I'm like, you know what would be really cool? Working with satellites or somebody like NASA. And so then I'm like, okay, well, joint military operations sound fun. So, and I was like, that
Hmm.
technology had always intrigued me because of our orbital array. I don't remember what it was at the time. It wasn't what it is now. But and I was just always like, this is the bleeding edge of technology. What are the capabilities? Because even then, everybody knows that the government's ahead militaristically,
Right.
and I'm like, I want to see what those satellites can do. What they
Yeah.
can. Yeah, and so that was my main reason for even going into
Hmm.
it. And again, I had zero expectation. And I'd never written off the idea of UAPs or UFOs at all. It's
Hmm.
just, I hadn't really seen it
Hmm.
firsthand.
Now, what I have been able to do, like for example, let's say when I got out of college, I said, you know what? I'd like to get into retrieval operations of UFOs. How would a person like me have gone about doing that? Through the Pentagon, or how would I have got myself in there?
Sorry, what'd you just say?
If I
He
wanted
wants to know
to,
how he could have got on the UFO retrieval team. Where does he go to apply?
like,
I don't
if
even know who does
I
that.
graduated from college, 4 years bachelor arts degree. I said instead of doing radio and stuff, I think I'd like to be in the Pentagon in the DoD dealing with non-terrestrial retrieval operations. Is there a
Well, I
person I
don't
would talk to?
know. Well, for my field, and which is the only one I know about, you'd go in for geospatial sciences.
Yeah.
And something I
Mhm.
want to note, you just mentioned a very, very interesting point. I have no clue who is retrieving these crafts. I
Mm.
mean, absolutely none. Um, there is no naval affiliation. Well, I'm not going to say affiliation. Obviously, there's joint efforts and their equipment's being used. But I don't know who the deeper intricacies of who are committing or who are, helping with these craft retrievals are. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Zero.
Interesting. So we really don't know who. That's another great topic. We don't know. This is Encounters, the late night UFO talk show. We have Cheyenne with the DoD. We have Skip to Grace. We have my comedian and also serious person, James, down the rabbit hole with us, our co-host. And it's very interesting. We have no idea who's retrieving these craft. But some powerful people, I don't think it's one. My guess is that there's probably a number of very powerful people that are in control of these operations that none of us know about. Would that be
Hmm.
in terms of
It's
my
the Men
assumption?
in Black. The
Yes.
Men
Of
in
course, I
Black.
saw the movie. I saw the movie.
It's
I did.
real.
Yes.
Remember all of the newspaper articles, those fake, like Rat Boy and all those tabloids back in the day? They said that's where they got their news from. We thought they were crazy, but it's all real.
There are
You know what?
honestly
It's
though,
funny you say that because
there are,
those tabloids had more information about UFOs and stuff, and we don't look at them and say, oh, that's got to be not real because it's in a tabloid. But what happens if any of those stories were actually true?
Yeah, I mean, look at the trend going around Facebook right now that's saying, how can you tell a story that you can't prove? I don't know if you guys have ever seen that coming out just
Mm-hmm.
recently, where people will talk about their encounters and they can't prove any of them because it was before any kind of documentation and
Right.
before people would even believe what they were saying, because people were taught that it was fake, that
Yeah.
everything was
You know,
fake.
and the thing is, what Grace is saying is really true. I mean, first of all, if you have an experience, and many of our guests have had experiences, I always tell people you don't have to prove anything to anybody because if they didn't walk in your shoes on that trail or up that mountain and have that experience, they cannot understand your experience until they have one themselves. So, and I
Mm.
still live by this motto is that if someone shares an experience that they were taken aboard a flying saucer in the desert of California, and they come back with a story and say, well, prove it. You don't have to prove anything because you know
Hmm.
why? You had the experience. If that person doesn't believe your experience, that is their mental problem. I say mental problem because they're closed-minded. They've been trained to believe unless you can prove something, then it doesn't exist. But that's not true because if someone has an experience, it's an experience. The word experience is defined as having something occur. If you have just a story to tell, that's made up, you can make up a story. But if you have an experience that you're sharing, it's different than telling a fantasy story or a book that you're writing about fiction. It's a
Whoa,
real
stop right
experience.
there. Shy, did you ever think about writing a book? Or like getting a ghostwriter? Or like getting a
That's
ghostwriter? You
A
know,
ghostwriter.
I might know somebody.
you know,
Wink, wink.
in order to do that, I have to release, if, hypothetically, let's just put somebody
No,
else in
we
that
would write it as a
It
fiction.
could be a
a
fiction.
fiction.
We would
Yeah,
write
it's
it
a
Yeah.
as a
fiction.
A
fiction.
fictional
Oh,
account by I'm
yes.
Shy.
That
You know,
sounds
like you
fun,
got
but
to put
that's
on the
scary.
videos. This is for entertainment purposes only.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Wink, wink.
I just
I
honestly, I
think
wish
James
for
is
a
trying to tell
second,
you something.
I wish for like for a second or like a day, y'all could like go to my work on the most interesting day. And like, it'd be so funny because like some of the things you say would like be proven right. You'd know like, which you already know they're true.
Yeah, like
Or
we're sitting there in the office, and they're like, you see Elvis walking by with the UFO, and you're like, wait a second, they really did take Elvis.
Right, and he came off a flying saucer in the desert in Arizona somewhere, and he's still
yeah,
alive.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, I
along with
know.
Michael Jackson.
Wait.
Michael
Michael
Jackson.
Jackson is living in a cabin in Canada.
There you
Let's
No,
get
he's
it
on
go.
right.
another planet right now. He was intergalactically taken off the
Int-
planet because they thought he was dead and he
interdimensional.
wasn't. Interdimensional.
All right, y'all. I'm getting really tired because I'm sick, but I'm gonna head out. I
Yeah.
appreciate y'all all. Skip to Grace,
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
do.
follow you because you seem so kind.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
It's
you're
so
already
good to
following me. I
be
had
with.
no idea. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
it's no, it's fine. It's great to be here with you and spending time with you this evening. Thank you so much. Make sure you drink lots of tea and honey.
Yeah,
Will
definitely.
do. Bye bye, y'all. Have a great night.
Good night.
Bye.
Okay, take care. I'm Shy. We'll catch you later. Okay, so that's
Oh, that
our,
was
for people that are new
fabulous.
to the show, Shai is our contact within the Department of Defense, and she is the one over the last number of months has disclosed information that's not even public anywhere on the news, anywhere in the world. I don't care if you're on CNN and you're an anchor for NBC, right here, CmdrAleon and my co-host, we have the true
We ask the
information.
hard
And
hitting
so
questions.
and we have the information too. This is a talk show. We're not here battling people for sports games or Mario games on TikTok. We're here doing a talk show, and I'm also a radio talk show host on WESU FM 88.1, non-commercial, listener-supported NPR Pacific Radio every Sunday morning for 20 years. Contactee with very human beings that I got to witness on a spaceship in the 60s. And so I have the intricate knowledge and the ability. And because I'm also from Mars and with the Ashtar Galactic Command, there's multiple cosmic things about me integrated into my consciousness. So, yeah, and James knows that. So I can actually interview people. You can come on here and talk. This is a forum where we're going to have soon more information from Amshai in the next few weeks, I'm sure. Once it's okayed, she will be giving us some more information regarding, and I didn't ask her the question about the retrieval of that one crashed uh, diamond-shaped craft that was taken down by scalar weaponry out of that formation the other weekend, and the retrieval of it, whether there were extraterrestrial bodies that were retrieved. I'm going to save that when she comes back on, when she's feeling better, and I'm going to verse the question whether and see if she did get any contact information about those bodies. So if you're not familiar with what happened, James and I can tell you, the Saturday before last, I believe it is, there was a very high alert all over the world. There were these a formation of diamond-shaped, bluish, luminous craft that were going from military base to military base and over cities like Tokyo, over New York, about 2.3 to 3 seconds per city, including Russia, Mumbai, over in India, a number of locations, and who knows where else they went. And then they eventually just poof, disappeared. They were gone. James, you have anything you want to add on that experience?
No, when Shai was describing the experience and what I really want to hit home for everybody is this was the first time anything like that has happened while she's been observing, the skies. B, it was intense enough for to coordinate with all of these other departments, other countries, and they actually told our president about it. And they're not really keen on telling him anything or having him involved in any part of the government.
Right.
So for them to actually wake him up and say, hey, buddy, there's some UFO activities that, there's a reason why they would do that. It was
This is
super,
real.
super high alert.
Yeah, absolutely.
Grace, were you getting any feelings about that from your psychic abilities about what happened? Anything you were reading into that?
Yeah, with the recent contact, I just feel
Mm-hmm.
in my gut what this is telling me is that they're monitoring our activity. And I feel that we, as a species, need to get it together.
Mm-hmm.
We're just not treating each other very well, and we don't respect one another. We need to
Mm-hmm.
respect our planet. And I mean, for me, it's all about just taking care of life. And,
Yeah.
I think for ultimately, we have just such a precious earth that we live on, and all the creatures that are on the earth, all the beautiful species that live on the earth. I mean, I just think like ultimately when we set off the bomb, our first nuclear bomb,
Mm-hmm.
during the times of Oppenheimer and World War II. I mean, I think that set off a radar or alert to our extraterrestrial in the cosmos.
Mm.
And what it did
Yeah.
was it sent a message that said we're screwing with not only our solar system, but we are actually screwing with the cosmos and beyond. What
Yeah.
affects us is
Yeah.
going to affect them.
They
Yeah, I mean,
actually, that would be. I was going to say that would be accurate because number one, when we did not the neutron, not, I'm thinking of the bomb here, not the atom bomb, but the hydrogen bomb. When we did the
Hydrogen.
hydrogen bomb
Mm-hmm.
back during World War II, that's when the Ashtar Command and the forces from beyond Earth came here. That's when people like Valiant Thor from Venus came here,
Mm-hmm.
because they all came here because they saw what we were doing was reverberating beyond Earth. If people understand that, when you blow up a big nuclear bomb or a hydrogen bomb, that energy is not
you
sustained
split
all
an
over the
atom.
planet. It goes
Absolutely.
into the universe. It affects other planetary systems. And that they were, as soon as we did that, they came here and said, nope, we're shutting your nuclear power plants down. Meaning, and they shut down. If you study in the 60s how many Air Force facilities and how many nuclear bomb facilities were shut down by what they call flying saucers. Those were the space people shutting down our nuclear facilities in Russia and other countries. This is throughout the whole 60s. This was happening.
And I
The whole
feel like
60s.
this is a message that is being sent to us again. Like they're just giving us like, because I don't believe that they're really truly allowed to interfere. And by us shooting down craft, we are putting that signal out of, animosity and, like we just have not evolved, and
I think that the ETs, when they're visiting, and we've known they've been visiting for thousands and thousands of years. As
Millions.
Shai said, there's a high
Billions.
probability that we're genetically, modified from our star seeds. So, but what they're, what over the years and their observation, imagine when they were observing in 1900. And then skip forward to 1940s, we get the A bomb. And, things were still kind of going okay. Then they skip from 1940s to 1980s, and they're like, oh my gosh, the, the human race gave up all of their freedom, all of their morals, everything for corporate America, for this money, for this greed, all of these, the way the world has changed in a way that we have no more community. We have no more civics in our communities. And the ETs were like, whoa, we were supposed to come back. We were supposed to come back in 2,000 years. We told you when we brought our son Jesus that we were going to come back, but now y'all are acting crazy and we're going to slow it down. We're gonna take a step back.
well, I mean, the
You guys need to
government.
raise your
Well,
vibration level
but
back to where it used to
Absolutely.
be.
And
yeah,
guys, know this, everyone in the room tonight, know this, that taking care of yourself is a big aspect of taking care of the planet.
right.
Your psychic hygiene, not only like your physical hygiene and all of that business, but taking care of like what you put into your bodies,
Right.
chemicals. Watch the chemicals, watch
Oh
the
yeah.
toxins, watch the amounts of those items that, those substances that you take into your bodies, because those are all pollutants, and that is like manifests into the
Grace,
cosmos.
I don't want to interrupt you, but what I was talking about earlier when I said that I'm working with trying to expose this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
we did a test on a McDonald's chicken nugget, and we put it in a controlled area for 6 weeks. No mold or bacteria grew on
Wow.
on the chicken nuggets. We've done that test with the buns. We've done it with Chick-fil-A. We've done it with a few, large fast food brand companies, and all of them have failed, except, one of them that surprisingly was Jimmy John's. They did pretty good. But
Wow, isn't that something?
as we're testing these foods, it's horrible. And then we look at, okay, well, let's compare the Big Mac in the United States to the Big Mac in Asia, and there's 5,000 different chemical strands. The meat
Yeah.
is different. Everything is so different, and it's like, why in America are they doing this to us in an almost purposeful way? And I don't want to get a conspiracy theory, but what you're saying about what we eat is true. And I'm living proof of that. I lost 100 pounds in 8 months strictly from eating better, exercising, meditating, and focusing on what I'm bringing in and what I'm saying and what I'm putting out into the world.
Yes,
And
and
I'm
not only
I'm
that, but
making
what
my
you're
karmic energy welcoming to the beings.
absolutely, and you're
Yeah.
cleansing your palette, and not only that, but when what you read, write, music you listen to, vibrational music, every
Right.
single sensory, our all our senses are affected by,
Hmm.
when people talk about fear. And I'm afraid if I do a CE5, I'm afraid that's
Right.
because you've already been programmed to be,
Yeah,
you've kind of ingested that into your, you know, energetic field where you are now afraid because you've been programmed by, these lies of, to fear
Yeah.
everything.
sure.
And like,
And when we picture an ET, and or an extraterrestrial encounter, we're not picturing. The average public, Joe Public, doesn't picture ET. They're picturing a big reptilian or a gray or something
hmm
scary.
Yeah.
And that's the fear. Even somebody in the chat said earlier, I'm scared. But
yeah, and
that
Shai
that
said it.
fear that fear is manufactured. They want
Absolutely.
you to be
Yes.
scared of that.
It's
And the reason why
programming. It's absolute programming.
And the reason why it's
Mhm.
manufactured is because this is encounters, which is not manufactured but real, uh, is because a lot of what happens is it goes back to the 40s and 50s and 60s and onward, where Hollywood produced all these sci-fi movies with these weird looking evil alien ETs, and I shouldn't say that word, but ETs that are out to eat us up. If you remember, there was a movie with some comedians that had these people from Mars they were green and they had these small, weird looking, funny eyes. I forgot the name of the movie,
Mars
but
attacks.
what?
Mars
Mars
Attacks.
attacks.
Mars Attack. Now, and so that was a prime example of making a movie about ETs, and this is what the ETs do. This is how they operate, and that's what they look like. And it's so far from the truth. There are people, even though that was somewhat of a comedy in a way, there are people that believe that, like Independence Day, the day
Mm-hmm.
War of the Worlds, Orson Welles and the movie War
Absolutely.
of the Worlds. It was all based
Absolutely.
on these beings from Mars that looked totally different and they were out to blow up the Earth. So all these things are all lies, but people have a fear that's instilled in them because this is what they have seen growing up as kids, whatever the decades are. This is their perception of what someone from another planet looks like. And
Mm-hmm.
I got to tell people, you got to stop believing that baloney because that's what it is. Most
Yeah.
95% of the people from other worlds, and I say people or beings or light beings, look like us. They might be slightly different, but they look like us. They don't look like evil aliens with big chins and pointed things coming out of their heads. Those are computer generated images on people on Earth with great imaginations, and it's not the truth. It's funny when people talk about UFO stuff and about the ETs, and when I see pictures on the internet of what an ET looks like, it's all computer generated garbage by people
Mm-hmm.
that have never ever experienced what the space people look like. So that it's already a fear based image, and if you promote fear-based images, you're going to promote that energy no matter what you do in the world, whether it's an internet website, on a TV news show. It's going to be totally misrepresentation of what is out there.
Right, and it's also about, I think, Commander, about having using your own discernment. I mean, because fear is, there's a book called The Gift of Fear that was written by a ex FBI agent. I can't recall the author's name, but I read this a while ago when I was having an encounter, personal encounter with somebody who is aggressive in my life, and I wanted to understand what I was experiencing, the emotion of fear. And he talked about it being a gift, and that fear, if you use your own discernment, fear can be uh, helpful, but we have to not let it get out of hand. Because when
Right.
we're
It's letting the fear control your
ex
decision.
Right, right.
exactly, it blurs the vision, and so you cannot decipher whether or not fear is good or bad indifferent, or like we can't make heads or tails of it, in other words.
Right.
So if we're continuously watching programming on television, or we're listening to or reading programming that is fear-based and negative, then we won't really be in touch with our own inner being that is, connected to the Christ consciousness or God
Right.
or the
You
source.
you brought
Yeah.
up a good point, and I wanna tell. I've never told this to Commander, but I want to tell him that you have changed my world. Um, and I don't want to get political, but you made a comment a few months ago where you said I don't watch the news. You'll read articles, and you'll look at it discernmently, but you don't get obsessive with it. And I used to be obsessive with it. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
and not to give away too much of my background, but I worked for the Obama campaign back in 2008 and 9 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped watching the news. When Commander said it, I stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And my outlook on life, my outlook on politics, I don't even, everything's changed. I'm looking at things differently. And, I got to thank you, Commander. You really helped me realize that it's not left and right, Republican, Democrat, any of that. We're all getting overlorded by these crazy rulers and dictators, and it doesn't
Absolutely.
matter what side of the spectrum we're on because we have no control. And
And
Shy really
I know.
solidified that.
And imagine us meeting a extraterrestrial that is from another dimensional
Right.
planetary
Another
system
world.
that
Yeah.
we can't understand. We would have a difficulty processing, as a species on the planet. We have a difficult time even processing people who look different from ourselves, let
Right.
alone star people, star visitors. And
Although
so, mhm,
although the star people, although I would say coming from Mars, my processing is ready. I've been always ready to meet my brothers and sisters. I think there'll be a percentage of people, and a good percentage, that would probably have a hard time at first processing it. But there also, you have to understand, there are millions of people around the world that are awakened. They know where they come from. They've been visited. Their processing
yes,
system is land and will make contact. So there's two things here happening. There's people
yes.
that are already ready, and the people that are just waking up and they're not sure if they're ready yet.
And I
They're
agree
I
not
with
think
you,
sure.
more
Commander.
people are waking up spiritually than ever before because they're seeing shows
Yeah.
like this, they're hearing disclosure, they're seeing all of this crazy stuff going on. Like, wait a second,
Well, I agree with
let
you,
me look
Commander.
more into this.
Yeah, because the people's minds are being opened, cracked wide open, and it's where the rubber meets the road, so to
Yeah.
speak, where, I agree with you, when you're saying that people will probably surprise us, or maybe some, and that the percentages of people who are more loving and are about love and union and oneness, and that we're one, the
Why they got
concept
rid of
of,
the hippies?
yeah.
Oh, the hippies are still
Right.
here.
They're
We're the new age.
trying. They're
We're the
still
new age
trying.
hippies.
Absolutely,
Hey,
absolutely. But
Commander, before we sign off, can you pull out some of your magic crystals for us to look at?
I will do
somebody,
that. I
somebody,
will do.
somebody said something in the comments there. And if anybody hasn't seen Commander's UFO crystal, I gotta tell you what, that thing is alive. I don't care what anybody says. That
yeah.
thing, that thing can power the spaceship Enterprise, I believe.
Well, I'll tell you
Well,
what.
you know what Tesla used to, Nikolai Tesla always said
Uh,
crystals
uh,
were, had a beingness.
yeah, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. And this is the way it's going to work. For me to show that crystal to 149 people, for those that have
Oh,
been blessed, this is the deal. So this is a show that we do most nights, late night. Last night I took off. But if you want to support this show unconditionally, then show us some big gifts. If you have a lot of what they call TikTok coins, I don't even know what they look like. I guess they're
That
imaginary.
crystal costs $200.
That crystal I have right here, and I
No, don't
will
show it. Don't show it.
not yet, but there's got to be some love here. So if you have the abundance of some of those imaginary coins from TikTok, and you will show me some big things on the screen, I will show you something that's going to blow your mind. And every time those who've seen it know what I'm talking about. This is not just a crystal. It's like seeing into another dimension. Every crystal I've gotten over the last 20 years, I've been guided by the command. Every crystal has something going on in it. And they're very activated crystals. So here's the deal. I will, once I see some gifts here,
We're putting conditions on it. Yep.
I'm putting a loving condition on it that I would like to have just a few people. Not everybody can afford to use TikTok coins, so that's fine. But those that have been given the abundance on earth for that, I use the word abundance. Share some of that abundance and show me some stuff here. So we have the crystal in hand, and I want to see what's going to happen here. And it's all beautiful. It's all
We should do
good
a
stuff.
poll. You want to see
So
the crystal?
we're gonna see who's gonna be the bold ones here. Who's gonna be the one looking, say, what gift should I put on encounters? Whatever you want. One of those big ones.
Wait.
There's the one.
If we're doing that, people give money for crazier stuff online.
Right. That's right.
I'm gonna have to start dancing. If you guys
Well, he's
want
gonna
to
start
start dancing,
He's gonna dance so you give us gifts. My co-host is
thanks
dancing.
for the roses. Thanks for the roses. We need a galaxy. We need a galaxy.
See, I don't
They
have to
do
say
that.
anything. I'm a ventriloquist. He speaks. I don't say anything.
Yes,
Oh, I
he's
know
from
that.
Mars. I'm from Uranus. Let's get those gifts in.
Let's get the gifts. What is
Hey,
that?
whoa, look at
There
that
we go.
one.
Let's get a few
That
more
is
gifts
Look
here.
so
at that
cute.
guy. All
Let's get
right,
some
here we
gifts going
go.
here.
YMCA, we're gonna spend the
If I get
Listen,
one or two
if you
galaxies,
guys
I
give
will
it
pull
to him, I
this.
will shave my head.
That is
Before we go off the air,
funny.
I will definitely do if we do one or two more big things, like maybe the whale. Who has a whale? You remember
Let's
that
reach
whale thing?
down. Here, what does Pink Floyd say? Money! Money!
I know some people are holding off to see how long I'm going to wait to do
So
this. But if you
funny.
if you don't believe this crystal is going to be what it is, you're going to be blown away when we do this.
No, no kidding. This has been a really great show tonight. So fun to be
Thank you,
here.
Grace. And now the fact that we got you on audio for the first time, and I've noticed they changed the policy, so now we get people on audio after a certain period. That's great.
I was
And I hope
stunned
more.
by that.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
so exciting.
And this is our
Give
late night show
gifts to the
encounters.
commander.
There you go.
This
That's
is the
another good
way.
reason to put down a big galaxy or something on the show.
What
I
is
know
that?
people are
This is
holding
the
out here.
way. Send the gifts
We got
to
some
the
holdouts here.
Mandalorian Council.
I'm going to put it this way. If I show this crystal now, do it a different way. If I show you this crystal and you see things, and you're going to, thanks for the hat. If you see things, I want to see the people that are going to say, yes, I will give you a big gift. After I show you this, and for a few minutes, when you see something in here, say, you know what, he's right. I guarantee you, thank you.
Whoa!
Oh, that little guy was so cute.
We love that little guy. There we go. The
And that
illuminated.
was a
Thank you for
paper
the paper crane.
crane.
We're getting there. We're getting
Beautiful.
all kinds of interesting stuff here. The heart. Thank you.
The
I'll tell you what. So I'm going to
Bronco.
show the crystal right now as the
That
gifts
was
keep coming. Keep the
awesome.
gifts coming. Oh, we
Oh,
got the
What?
birds coming.
yes.
They
Oh,
got the
that was
birds
so
coming here. The
pretty.
butterflies, actually. So when I show you this crystal, once you see this, you're going to have your minds blown away here, folks, on the show here, Encounters. Okay, when you see this, you're going to see some things in the crystal. All right?
Oh,
All
that's
right,
cool, Josh.
I'm
And
gonna
as
guide
you,
his hands because he can't see it from our angle.
so if you look right now, you're seeing, tell me what you see. If you see what
Bring it
you're
in
seeing,
closer.
I
That
want you
looks like
to put
Sedona.
some big gifts. There's actually something going on in here.
Oh, so
Okay?
beautiful.
But there's something going on in here. And if you can see it, tell me what you see. Yes. See, everyone's going to see something in here. I can see a spaceship. This is not just a crystal. Understand what I have here. The command guided me to this thing at the East Coast Gem and Mineral Show, where I usually buy my crystals. Okay? I'm going to show you some stuff here. I
Where
want
you
to
at?
see I want to see
Turn it
some
like that
galaxies
so we
here
can
for some
see
of the
that face.
people. I'm going to go in a little bit here.
Wow.
There's a landmass in there too. Do you see it?
Yeah, that's what that looks like. That's what I was thinking.
You can
Wait. As
see.
he turns it, you guys are gonna see a whole lot more.
If
Is
you
that
like what
a?
you're seeing,
That's amazing.
I
Is that a
guarantee
rainbow
you everything I
crystal?
do is real here.
Whoa! Confetti! Bo, bo,
Thank
bo,
you
bo,
for the
bo.
confetti. Thank you. I'm going to turn it a little bit
That was
more.
cool.
You're going
Wait,
to see
Commander,
what's going
take
on here.
your green screen off. Oh wait,
My
there you
green
go. You
screen
got to
off?
bring it a little. Yeah, turn your green screen off. That way, it won't affect the image of the crystal.
Oh, no, I can do it without doing that. Let me
There we
see
go.
here.
There we go.
Oh wow, look
Now
at
bring it closer.
this.
Bring it closer. Bring it closer. Closer, closer. Yeah, we want to get right in there. Yeah, a little up more. Holy moly.
That's a dimension. That's a portal.
Wait, stop right there. Look, there's a face. Stop. Hold it right there.
There's a woman's
Guys,
face.
you see the
There's a
woman's
woman's
face?
face.
Oh yes.
A
Oh
woman.
my
She has
gosh.
eyes, a nose. See it? Now, if that's not worth the
Wow.
galaxy, look at that face.
It's fantastic.
She has blue eyes. I can't make this stuff up, folks.
Mm,
Okay, where's the galaxies for
that looks
this?
like a palladium crystal. Like it
Yeah,
reminds me of.
turn it like this way and on the backside. Let's look on that
Look
backside.
at her face more. Wait a minute.
Yeah, look at that. Look at her face right there.
You see it? You mean to tell me,
Wow.
folks, you're not going to give me a galaxy for seeing this?
Mm,
This is not just a crystal. Come on now, folks.
They want you to turn it.
You're going to see some other things in here. Wait a minute.
Right? Wait, go back.
There's going to be, anybody see anything? I see at least two things.
mm.
I can't believe nobody sees what I'm looking at.
Turn it a little more this way. There you go. Right there. I see like a head like looking like this kind of.
Jake says he's seeing the Sananda's face.
What's
Let
the
me just see something
Sananda's
here.
face?
Sananda. Stargate. Somebody else is saying that they see Stargate. And a portal. MC says she sees a portal.
Look, oh, there's that
Oh,
weird
somebody else.
looking creature right there. Look at that. Look at that, guys. There's the
Oh,
eye right there.
wow.
Ooh, ho, ho, ho. Thanks for the subscription, Billy
Hey,
Adams.
yeah,
Thank you,
thank
Billy
you.
Adams.
Somebody sees a waterfall in there.
I'm going to
And
show you the pyramid.
Jaws Man 11 sees a waterfall.
There's
That's
definitely a
incredible.
pyramid. Let me see
Yep.
here. Inside the crystal, you see the landmass? That's a landmass in there. I don't know what planet it's on, but it's a planet. There's
That's
a land.
like
It's like rock.
another like dimension living inside of that crystal.
Yeah, like when you hold it at a weird. Whoa!
Oh!
My gosh!
Uh-oh. James, are you okay?
That was great.
Like, James's eyes are popping out.
Did you see that?
Under the sea, under the sea.
Let's see. I'm going to show you a few other
Lumarian,
things
thank you for
here.
the Lumarian energy.
Let me see here. Hold on.
Jupiter.
I'm going to show you
Well,
another
see, look,
crystal.
it is a little scary. Yeah,
Here's another crystal here.
Hey, Christy, welcome in. Primitive,
ooh,
welcome
that's a
in.
new one. That's a new one.
And
Oh,
see if you
wow.
can see anything here, too. This is another ET crystal.
What is
You see
that
anything?
circle right in there? Look at that right at the top.
That is
You
wild.
see a
Oh, wait, wait,
face?
wait, 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 wait. Yeah, bring it up closer like that. Look at that skull face.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. Wow.
Like Cthulhu. Oh, man, the green
Talk
screen's messing it up.
talk about the crystal skull from is it the Mayan skull?
Yeah, look at that in there. Looks like the skull with tentacles coming out of it.
Hmm. Wow. Was that from that rock show that just
Yeah.
took place? See, I couldn't go. I'm gonna have to do that. I have to go up there. The next one.
Let me bring this up a little bit
Whoa,
here.
whoa, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at that angle. Wait,
That's
turn like, you have
fabulous.
your hand like this? Turn it like that just a little bit. Like you're leaning it
Mm.
towards the camera. Like lean it towards, there you go. Look at
Oh,
that.
thanks for the teddy bear, Saint.
Look at that. Whoa.
Oh, thanks for the gifts, guys.
Thank you for the gifts. There's a being right there. Looks like a child. You see it?
What the heck? Like looking sideways, right? Like this.
Yeah,
Mm,
looking
Like this
sideways.
angle. Like that
Yeah.
angle.
that is fabulous.
Wow.
You can
See,
see the
every time
face.
he turns,
You see the face?
yep. Ooh, look, there's like a gray right there. What happens when you bring it too close to the camera, Commander? The green screen takes over.
Yeah.
Those are spectacular.
Whoa, that looks like an angry one. There's like an angry guy in there.
All these are light energy crystals, so there's something there. It looks like a triangular light.
Commander, where can people find those?
You have to be guided. You have to be guided, folks.
Okay.
The command, my contact, Kadar Manka, guides me, and every time I go to a crystal show,
Thank you
I
for
don't
the
just go
gift.
buying crystals. I'm going to find the right ET crystal that's within all the crystals, and they tell me, this is, Commander, the crystal we want you to get. And so I get it, and I
Hey,
look at it, I meditate, I look at it, I look at it. And by the
Kelly
time I get
Gal
done
said
looking
she
at it,
saw Mother Teresa.
Wow.
Like the white and the
this is
blue.
the
I
other
thought
crystal again
okay.
here.
A visitation from Mother Teresa. That's awesomeness.
There's a
So I'm going to
woman.
show
Wait,
you.
bring it closer. Bring it closer. Oh, the dang green screen.
You can see a figure in there.
You ever see like that picture, like Leonardo da Vinci with the arms out and the legs out? That's what I'm picturing.
Oh, right.
You can see something in there if you look. I'm going to do something here. I'm going to twitch it around this way here. A minute.
Whoa, whoa, wait, go back. Is that a rabbit? Look at the, wait, go back. Keep going, keep turning it. Look at that, the two bunny ears right there. Oh, it went away. Almost like the Playboy bunny.
And here you can see there's a landmass here. Let me try to bring it this way. This is where you'll see it. You can see a pyramid. There's a pyramid in here.
Wait a second. Wait, stop. Hold it right there. Now bring it closer and a little bit higher. Now bring it. Look at that. It looks like. Do you see the two? There's like two faces side to side. One of them's like this, like looking up.
Well, if you look at this second thing in the background, that's a pyramid. You see the
Yeah.
pyramid?
Yes.
Yeah, and on top of the pyramid, on this side of it, there's like two heads just sitting there, like this. Just two little faces, two little beings. But there's a woman. When you look right in there, like right in between where the blue is, there's like a woman's face. Right there. Oh, she's staring right at us. She is saying hello, gentlemen.
It's like walking in like you're walking on another planet.
Yeah. This crystal is not just a normal crystal. You can see two heads in there if you look.
Yeah,
And
right,
you can also
right
see
at the top.
you
What
can
are
see
they
into another dimension. You can see the space. The
like a
blue
dimension?
is really the
Yeah.
stars.
What is that called? What is that type of crystal called,
I don't
Commander?
even know what it's called. I call it a smoky crystal, but it's
Is
not
it a
just a regular
rainbow?
crystal.
Like a rainbow crystal?
Hard to say.
Yeah. Aurora,
Put it this way.
maybe?
This is an off-planet crystal.
Yeah.
They guided me to this one, and I said,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this one was all by itself.
Mm.
And I said, okay, I need to do this. And when I got home, I started looking at it. They told me to look at it, and there are many different things going on in the crystal. It's more of an activation crystal, so
Is
it's
it
going to
nat
activate people.
is it naturally formed? That
Yeah, it's
one?
naturally formed. This is a raw
Yeah.
natural crystal.
And that thing looks
Wonderful.
like it came from Atlantis.
Yeah, it does. It's like Lemurian. That's incredible.
I'm going to go, and you're going to
Jaws-Man
see
said he
different
wants
things
to see
here.
another crystal. Yeah,
Okay.
another crystal is gonna cost you a whale or a galaxy, buddy.
Right.
That
That,
rock right there, that man spent over $200 on that rock. I know how much those rocks are.
I
Oh
do have another
yeah.
crystal, but before I show this, before I sign off the show tonight, as we wind down, I'll show another crystal to you, and let's see how many other people want to, throw in a galaxy or a whale or whatever.
This is the
So,
way. Send the gifts.
no, I didn't really spend a lot of money on these crystals at all. Actually, I go to get the crystal show, and they're very reasonably priced. So it's not going to cost anybody an arm or a leg. But you just got to know what you're doing. If you read energy of crystals when you buy a crystal at a crystal show, just be aware that they're reasonably priced. You just have to figure out what you're looking for,
Hold
and
on
that's
a
really
second there, Lexicon. Yeah, it is all about the money. The commander's got bills to pay too. Even though we're trying to change the world, we're stuck on this world, and until we get rid of money, you want to see the crystal, you need to help them pay the bills. I
and it's
can't
really
stand
just
when
an
people
offering.
talk crap.
When people gift, I mean, that's what TikTok lets you do. They have it set up so people can gift people,
Wait,
and if
that
people
one.
and if people want to gift people, that's fine too. It's a free will
Yeah,
universe.
Well, money
yeah, we're
is the
gonna do it anyways.
currency. Money is our currency. It's a good thing.
Yeah,
It's not a bad thing.
it all depends how you use it.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not like he's asking you to donate money to Maui with his millions of dollars.
Yeah, I got to have that billions of dollars, folks. I'm like those folks who are the actors and actresses who have billions, and they're asking the regular
Whoa,
folks for,
wait a second.
Let's just turn it this way. This is a crystal we got. This is a Herkimer diamond crystal. They call it, comes from upstate New York. Got this years ago. I'm going to show you one more crystal.
Whoa, wait, whoa, you moved it right when it was showing something good. Look at that, guys.
Right there.
Oh, man, I got to put my scanner on. Grace just dropped her elderberry.
You can see a face in here now. If you look, there's a face.
Yep, right. Oh, my gosh. It's another skull looking. Oh,
No, I'm having my almond milk right now.
almond milk.
All my
Guys,
crystals are very high frequency. Just to let you know,
you
folks.
should see Grace how she milks those almonds. Oh.
In the
I'm going to show you
blender.
one more crystal. Let me bring that next crystal over here. I'm going to show it to you right now.
Whoa, look at that. Susie, thank you. Your first gift, you get a dance.
I didn't see what was given, but here's my last crystal of the night. This is going to
Oh, you
be a
missed a
good one.
good one. You missed a good one. Wow.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you a whole lot with this one, though.
Yeah, bring it closer. Look at that. Right there. It's like a almost like another landscape. Whoa. Was that you through the crystal?
Yeah.
Wow, that thing is super clear.
Isn't that a master point, master healer?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So that's one of the other ones. So that's my winding down of our show with crystals. There's one more crystal I'll show you, and then we'll, let me see, maybe two more. Let's see if I can even do this here. This one's weird. No, this is not going to
Oh
work.
no, it's the green screen's messing it up. Oh, you got to turn your green screen off for that one. That one had, look at that, like Prometheus face. No, bring it closer. Look at that, like the face from Prometheus looking upwards. Wow. Oh, that one's got some stuff in it. Look at that. If you guys see that, hit the like button 5 times.
Hit the gift button 5 times.
Hit the gift button 5 times. Give it a little frontwards yaw rotation for us. Keep going right in there. Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see that angle. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Thank you for the trumpet. Whoa.
Wow.
Big heart, big heart.
Heart.
I'm gonna show you one more. This one, I'm not sure what's going to happen here.
What is that?
This is another high amped up crystal.
Yeah, man. Look at the
Billy
colors
Adams
on
still
that
the
thing.
gifts. Billy
Where
Adams
are
is the
those
only one
pink?
doing gifts right now.
Do you have a light that has the pink, like a blue or pink on it? Because it looks like it's reflecting pink.
It's reflecting on his hands.
It's reflecting on your hands too. Yeah, pink on your hand.
Yeah, it's the crystal.
Wow, I never seen a crystal like that before. It looks like it's just radiating pink out of there.
Wow.
Turn it sideways. I think that one has like another landscape on it too. Oh my gosh, look at that. Whoa! Oh, hold on. Look at that, guys. Look at it. Go back. Go back a little more the way you had it. No. Bring it closer. Yeah, turn it that way. You know, a little bit the other way you were just turning it. Like this, left to right. Like bring your left hand forward, your right hand back. Right there. Yeah. What is that message? There's like a message, like a hieroglyph on the far left side of that thing. Whoa, guys, look at that. It looks like, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's like a part of a square or a cross or.
That's
I see a
really a
face.
beautiful piece.
I see a
Wow.
face in there. You see the face? There's a face in there if you look.
Thanks so
I'm
much for
seeing,
the support, guys.
honestly, I'm seeing a lady laying sideways.
I'm going to show you one more. Give me a second here.
It sort of looks like a mermaid swimming.
Right, right. You guys saw that cross too? Oh,
This is going to blow you away.
we got another goblin goop. You got another one.
Thank you. Check this out. You see two people?
I see a heart. I see a heart right in the middle of it.
Yes, there it
There's a
is.
heart right in the middle of it. I'm gonna screenshot that. Wait, hold it right there.
That's fabulous.
I'm screenshotting that. Okay. Wow.
Come on, folks. Let's get a few people giving gifts, not just
What a
one.
wonderful way to
Everyone
end
can
the
jump in
show.
here with
This is
gifts.
beautiful. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
And I'll show you one more side of this, and then we're going to call it a night. Let's see here.
Whoa.
Let me
Whoa,
get
there we
you.
go. Bring it in. Bring that in. Bring that in. Look at that. You can see.
Thanks for the earth.
Earth, 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 Mars, Mars, Mars.
Thank
Whoa,
you, Patty.
Sandy Blue.
Woo!
You guys are doing so awesome.
There. Look at this. You see the woman?
Whoa, what is that?
It's a woman.
It's a
Thank you for the
lady praying.
hearts. Thank you for the hearts.
And
Everyone
she's
see the
got
lady?
wings. She's got wings. It's an angel.
30,000 likes tonight.
You can see Marvin the Martian. Yeah, I think everybody else is going to see something different
Yes, I
in
agree.
what their eyes are catching. Like I see a little creature down on the bottom right side. Like weird. When he turns it, there's like a weird looking face right there in the bottom part. Ooh. Yeah, it was like a baby or a small. Look at that. Look at that face sideways. There's a sideways face right there, like a jack-o'-lantern. Nope, you just. Man,
Cloud
we could do all.
people. I see cloud people. Billy Adams, 519, says he sees cloud people.
Right.
Wow.
Anybody
Whoa,
see
hold it.
anybody?
Stop right there. Look at that. There's a head. You can see the ears, and it looks like he's got a long beard. I don't know if anybody else can see it, but tell me if anybody else sees a guy with a long beard and like half of his face showing. And don't forget, she still sees the baby. Katie sees the baby.
All
He's
right.
climbing a mountain.
Now I'm going to say this is the end of the show for tonight. This is our ending of Encounters. It's been a great show. We had James, my co-host. We had Graceland here. We had Shayan from the DoD. We want to thank everybody as we wind down to show you some crystals. They're not just any crystals, everything. I have tons of crystals here that are off-planet crystals that you'll see many things in. And Billy Adams, you're not late. The show is recorded, so it will be posted on YouTube. You'll be able to rewatch the show on YouTube sometime tomorrow. I want to thank everybody for the gifts. If anyone can shoot another galaxy out of here before we get off here, that would be great. And again, thank you. Everyone, you make this show what it is, a great show. You're all good people. We love you all. All the new people, thanks for coming here and finding us on TikTok, where there's a bazillion other crazy things going on. You found this show. Do stay tuned tomorrow night for another edition of Encounters, the late night UFO talk show, only here on TikTok, not on CNN, MSNBC, BBC, CBC, or whatever seat. So thanks again. Any last minute gifters? Let's do it right now, and we'll see you again tomorrow night. Thank you, everybody. Be well, love each other, and we'll catch you again.
Good night,
Grace, we'll
Commander.
catch you soon. Hopefully, we'll have a C5 this weekend or following weekend. I've got to
Okay.
get it planned out here. So thank you so much.
Okay, let me know. Good night. Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Take care.